Of course, this is a PYQ based themed document, where again we have identified the recurring themes, the important themes, and then we have very well crafted this document, right? So this is again going to give you all important high weightage areas which are very much backed by the pattern and the nature of questions which has been asked by UPSC, right? And this topic is also, the booklet is also going to give you a broad question span. It is going to be a game changer. Again, as I discussed, again it is curated with deep PYQ analysis. It is a single source content for all of things, right? It is saving time and again improving a quality. Again, with less time and more to read, we are going to read quality content. This is a quality content, and it is not just going to help you down for your social justice topic, it is also going to help you down for the topic of essay, ethics, and in the stages of your personality test, where again hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing well and preparing well for the upcoming mains examination. So VisionIAS has come up with a new document, that is a document on social justice. Although social justice just comprises of 3 topics of your GS paper number 2, but again it has a lot to contribute in terms of answer writing, in terms of the weightage of questions which has been asked down the line by UPSC in the last 10 years. So this document is of course going to be a one-stop solution for all these 3 topics which are very contemporary, which requires a lot of value enrichment, which is again, so certainly this document which VisionIAS has released is going to be a one-stop solution for the topic of social justice for paper number 2. So in this video we are going to see how exactly this document is going to help you down in your preparation for social justice topic, and how effectively and efficiently you are going to use this particular document. So let's start. It is very important to understand the syllabus. So when it comes to social justice, there are 3 major topics which has been discussed by UPSC in paper number 2. So the topic first pertains to welfare schemes. So again, a very important, welfare schemes, because we have read a lot of schemes in our during our prelims examination phase, a lot of government schemes. So again, these schemes specifically targeting the vulnerable sections of society, that is SC, ST, OBC, children, women, transgenders. So this is something which is pertaining to this topic, that is for vulnerable sections of population by both central government and the state governments, and the performance of these schemes you are going to analyze, because that is how maybe you see that how UPSC has been asking questions. They give you certain flagship schemes of the government with regarding to this particular vulnerable sections, and they ask you for your analysis that again how far and how effectively that scheme has achieved the target or the aim for which it was for the very first time constituted, right? So again, any mechanisms, any law, any bodies, any institutions which are working towards these vulnerable sections comes under this broad topic, right? So basically this is a subsection which is including legislations, all important laws which are being passed by government with respect to these vulnerable sections, any scheme, any protection measures, including any bodies. This is how you are going to cover this first topic of your syllabus. Then the second topic talks about issue related to development and management of social sector and services. Specifically, they have mentioned that which areas we are going to cover, that is health, education, and human resources. What are human resources? Again, the citizens of the country, right? So it is a broad topic which is going to cover aspects related to development and management and provisions, facilities, personal's initiative related to health, education, and human resource. And the last topic of your syllabus is issues related to poverty and hunger. Though poverty is again aligning with GS paper number 3's topic also, that is where this is going to be a distinguishing factor, that how you are going to study the topic of poverty from the perspective of social justice, which is indifferent of course from the topic of economics, right, and hunger. So these are the 3 broad themes which are going to be covered in this particular document. So again, this document has been divided into 3 units. 3 units are very specifically and in very detailed manner cover these 3 themes of your social justice syllabus. Then once we come around, how this document is going to help you down in your preparation for social justice. Number 1, because this document has been well researched. we have analyzed, we have seen the trend, the changing trend of questions which UPSC has been asking pertaining to the topic of social justice, and based on that research and analysis we have framed this document. So again, of course, this is a PYQ based themed document, where again we have identified the recurring themes, the important themes, and then we have very well crafted this document, right? So this is again going to give you all important high weightage areas which are very much backed by the pattern and the nature of questions which has been asked by UPSC, right? And this topic is also, the booklet is also going to give you a broad question span, where again questions spanning from welfare schemes, again though the topic is very only 3 topics, but again these 3 topics has a lot of subtopics within them, right? So we are covering all of these 3 subtopics in a very detailed manner, so that again you can get to know all important sub-themes which are pertaining to these 3 subtopics of a syllabus, right? And again it is going to be a conceptually and analytically in-depth understanding of all the topics, followed by, it is very important because as I discussed, if you have listened the 3 topics of syllabus, they are something which we see very generally in our society, right? And as civil service, as future aspirants and future IAS officers and administrators, we are going to work on these themes, right? So this is where real life examples, real life analysis pertaining to these topics are very important, and this is where examiner is going to be certainly attracted and maybe award you more marks if you are giving to him some realistic, some real life examples interconnecting with the subtopic of your syllabus. This is going to cover, and this is where explicitly we have covered all of these 4 major theme or topics or areas in the document. Then we talk about what are the key features with respect to this document. Again, full syllabus coverage, again all important vulnerable sections, all important themes pertaining to social justice, all important subtopics which can come down under and which are very implicit in the broader theme are covered in a very detailed manner in this particular document. Then all important themes are, again as I discussed, these are backed by previous year question papers. So again, what we have done at every stage, after every subtopic coverage, we have included the previous year questions, so that again you can get a real life example or an understanding that again, if I have read a topic, if I have understood the topic, how a question is asked from that particular topic. So again, you can use that content once what you have read, and again you can apply directly in your answer writing practice, right? This is going to be a problem solution oriented document. Then as I discussed, integrated reference, because all of these topics, again certainly not just the topic of social justice, but again all 4 GS papers are not to be seen in silos. All of them are very integrated to each other, right? So that integration sometimes become difficult for student to do them by their own. So what we have done, we have integrated every topic wherever possible to whichever respective GS4 papers, so that again you get a very nuanced understanding of that particular topic, right? Again, the revision, because many times what we have seen, we read a lot, but before the examination, of course, the whole the stage itself is very overwhelming sometimes. So again, we struggle in terms of revision. So what we have done, a very infographic manner, ready-made content, quick revision content is also available module wise in this particular document, which is going to help you down in terms of last minute revision before examination. And again, certainly this is how you are going to remember all important topics, all important keywords, all important case studies, everything what you have written in this particular document. This is also value enriched, because as I discussed, again the syllabus pertains to what? Vulnerable sections, issues of human resource, poverty, hunger, malnutrition. So these are some pressing social challenges of social justice in our society, right? And we as future administrators need to provide solution. So as I discussed, these are problems pertaining in the domain of society. So there are different countries at a global level. Of course, there would have been problems like this, which is there in India, right? So all important case studies, for example, how has US as a country which is developed country is dealing with the problem of hunger, if there, right? How has they maybe performed well in the areas of providing nutritional security, food security to citizens? So all global best examples of all such topics which are there in the syllabus are being given, so that again you can value add it to your answers. And certainly, trust me, these answers which has good amount of case studies, good amount of global practices which you can quote in directly in conclusions of your answers, is certainly going to give you more marks by examiner as compared to an answer which is just plain and not integrating with the current or contemporary issues around the topic, right? So this is how it is a full packed document which is going to certainly is going to be a one-stop solution for the entire subject of social justice. Then in terms of how we are going to use it, right? So again, 3 topics, 3 themes. So again, very structure based coverage. So very a time what we have done in answer writing, what we face a problem, because many toppers many times have emphasized the importance of pre-preparing introductions and conclusions to your answers, because you know the topics. If I discussed, it is a vulnerable section, it is going to be food security, is going to be malnutrition, is going to be education. So these are the themes. Based on these themes only UPSC is going to ask question, right? Again, the question may change its depth, but again the theme will remain the same. So this is where you have an option, and you have an advantage to pre-prepare conclusion, to pre-prepare introductions to your answers. Certainly this document is helping you in that manner as well. It is going to give you certain good introductions, conclusions which can be used as a conclusion introductions in your respective answers in the examination day. Now it is also helping, as it is a value added material, it is not just a content, not content overloading, it is a strategic content which is structured around that how you are going to structurize your answers, right? So again, in a point manner, with the use of let's say datas, with the use of let's say flowcharts, with the use of diagrams, this is how you are going to present an answer, right? So again, certainly from 14,000 people to let's say 3,000 roughly the numbers, it is not going to be an easy task. You are just not going to write answers, you are going to write well presented answers. So for that well presented answers, you require presentation tips and techniques, which is also integrated in this particular document. Then again, as I discussed, global examples are there, right? Quick revision, practice, tables, everything what is required and what you can think of, and based on the topper copies, based on the research, based on previous year question, all of these things have been very well integrated in this particular document of social justice. Then for example, I'll give you some examples so that again you can understand like how exactly it is effectively working with the idea of respective themes. For example, there's a theme of women. So we have discussed all important legislations with respect to women in society, all important schemes, Sakhi Nivas, Ujjwala, any important law, taxation, everything, from again integrating all the topics and all subjects coverage in the topic of women. Children, important acts, again examples of global examples, that's Finland's baby box, right? In terms of youth, the NYP 24 gig economy, then again global example of Swiss apprenticeship, right? Again in terms of elderly, global example of Japan's robot elder care. In terms of SC/ST sub-classification judgment, the recent judgment with respect to classifying SC/ST community as well. So all of these things again is a very brief sample. Again, document contains a very comprehensive coverage across multi-dimensionality of these coverage of topics, right? So this is going to help you down to have a very well nuanced, a very well thorough, comprehensive 360-degree analysis of all of these topics of social justice, which is going to be helping, which is going to be help you down by this particular document, which has all of these things in a very comprehensive, systematic manner at one solution. Because we struggle a lot in terms of where do I read this, where do I get the conclusion, where do I get case study, where do I get a global example. All of these things has been made simpler by you, by VisionIAS, through this document. Lastly, how exactly why it is going to be a game changer. Again, as I discussed, again it is curated with deep PYQ analysis. It is a single source content for all of things. right? It is saving time and again improving your quality. Again, with less time and more to read, we are going to read quality content. This is a quality content, and it is not just going to help you down for your social justice topic, it is also going to help you down for the topic of essay, ethics, and in the stages of your personality test, where again all of these social justice questions are being asked in the different stages, except for your mains examination, right? And lastly, that you are going to use this content, right, and you are going to combine that with your test series and mentorship for your maximum impact, because we read, but after reading we need to write answers before the examination day, right? So we need to stimulate our mind, we need to train our mind, so that again we are completely ready in the examination day, and we will not struggle in terms of thinking, in terms of strategizing. All of these things we are preparing. So not just for social justice, for all topics what you are reading for your mains examination, right? So you need to integrate it with the test series, you need to integrate with respect to mentorship support, where again sometimes you require hand holding, right? That is all given to you by VisionIAS, right? In terms of the Lakshya Mentoring program, the Lakshya Mentoring program, in terms of the Abhyas test series which is going to come down, you are going to integrate everything, right? And if something is provided to you which is going to help you down for the examination, use it, right? That is the key, and that is how you are going to excel in this examination stage of mains, right? And you are going to download again from the VisionIAS website in the resources tab, or the VisionIAS center you can come, you can collect this document, right? And lastly, very important, prepare smart, rise smart, and succeed confidently in the upcoming mains examination. Use these well developed, well researched, to the point, to the need of this examination document to your fullest, and score well in the subject of society and social justice. Thank you and all the very best.